What's going on, everybody? I am waiting for Gaz, and before he gets here, I want to make sure that I've got his mic muted in case he comes in here and yells something super crazy. I think I do. How is everybody doing? What a morning of surprises that we'll be talking about, and I've got kind of an interesting setup here. So I'll be checking my phone to see how the chat's going. So I'll be able to have the show replaying while Gaz and I talk, so we can kind of see everything. And I hope you guys are able to watch the show. I won't get into a lot of discussion, but there are quite a few things that I thought would be there that didn't show up. There was a lot of talk about big reveals or some games that were supposed to be there that never showed up. There was a couple surprises. So surprisingly, Jeff Keighley's poll has the Xbox Showcase at like a B+. So people are really happy with it. Gaz and I will get into the lull of the dreaded mid part of the show, but shout out to everybody for being here. There's lots of places you could be and lots of shows to talk about. And instead of making a full video, which I don't know what I'm going to do next when it comes to the showcase, but this is the first time I've ever been able to be live after a showcase, because for like 8 years, I was on RDX, and I was beholden to the great RDX team, and we were always doing the show. And me as a content creator, I wanted to capture every single trailer so I could make a video, but we would sit on the show and do that show. Shout out to all of you who support RDX. Those were great days. So wait for Gaz to get in. Normally I would go to showcase. I'd be in LA because the past 3 years I've been at the LA showcase. And this year I couldn't. My daughter had her graduation on Friday. We had a big family gathering and party yesterday. So otherwise we would have been en route, but we had a really great time hanging out with family and stuff. And then I've just kind of like cooled down on the game stuff. But this morning's been, I don't know, it's been a pretty decent show. I really feel like these showcases are loaded. They always have this chunk in the middle where they're like, here's the obligatory stuff we have to show. And it always like, I get all excited and then I just kind of start drifting. And I'm going to look at the chat here and kind of see what you guys are saying. There, some of you are saying Boba Fett's giving it a 7.5 out of 10. I mean, that midsection can really drag things down. Where's my water? Meg is out of town on a family thing, so we will probably be meeting again tomorrow to talk more about everything. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate seeing you in here. E-Day is confirmed for 2026, but why didn't they show it? Like, if that game is, I mean, that game could be a year away. Like, they could be shooting for September or October of next year. So, I mean, they're going to have a loaded developer direct. Yeah. We got Rainers 575 says the show started off strong and then just fell off. I actually probably could. I don't want to mess up the thing that I'll have running for you guys. But yeah, the show started off really good. Really good. I want to, Geo666 says the showcase was terrible. Let me get Gaz in here as soon as he can hear me and he's got everything up. Then I'll get his mic and cam on. He just joined. So, what do you all know about Marcus Ray says, what do you guys know about the new hardware? Not much. It was all revealed basically now. So, I haven't read any press releases or anything about that. Let me go over and see. Oh, he's getting his camera on. I need that fixed. There we go. There's his face. All right, Gaz, I'm going to bring you live on here, so don't say anything. Well, say whatever you want. We've been canceled before. All right, there he is. All right, give me a mic check. See how you are.
Yo, can you? Am I good?
Oh, I just need to turn you up. Hang on. I'll get it.
Bro, I didn't realize my streaming PC has my Elgato cam installed on it, so I was like, oh shoot, Jesus. Sorry, Excellency, I can't swear. I didn't know what to do, so yeah. Sorry, I'm late, and this camera is sagging. What the flip?
All right, let me make sure that all of this is working. What's the black screen we're looking at here? Okay. We'll scrub this to the beginning here. Oh, that painful Fallout 76 stuff. I'm a big Fallout 76 fan, but whew, that's rough watching that. So, how you feeling, Gaz? It's good to see you, bro. We were sitting in Rand's chat. During the whole thing.
It was good. It was kind of the show I expected. I expected a better first, at least one or two bangers of a first party, you know? Something big that I would personally like. So I wanted a little, definitely Gears. I think Gears not coming is, come on, man. Hey, guys, I'm on Shadow Core. It's a big deal. This is XNC. Remember for those days? It's been everywhere. It's good to be back. It's good to be back. We talk every day. It just feels like a normal thing, but I realized, oh, damn, I haven't been on your channel for ages. So I was expecting some big bangers like big bangers like something like Gears, something like State of Decay. Well, State of Decay is not massive. Perfect Dark. So at least one of them. But I think people were saying to us, Rand, that not to expect those because he always knows what's coming. So
did you just call me Rand?
No, like I'm saying not you, Rand, as in Rand was the guy who was telling us not to expect some of these titles. I thought it was decent. C. You know what? At least it wasn't as bad as that freaking State of Play. That's all I care about. The console war in me. I'm like, oh my god. Microsoft is like leading like all the shows. Although I will say Jeff Keighley's show I actually really enjoyed. Maybe perhaps a little bit more than this one. Or I'll mark them similar.
Jeff Keighley's show had some really cool, mature, surprise showing games that I added to a list of a video I'm working on. Yeah, and then Keighley's show had the same lull in the middle that we experienced today, which is just painful.
Yes. Really, that lull was just like for the it had happened with the Xbox One as well, and I was just like, bruh. Why do we always do this? Why do we always have Elder Scrolls Online and Sea of Thieves and freaking what's the other one? Fallout 76.
Fallout 76. Yeah.
Every year, and I'm like, bruh. I know that it has an audience, but it still annoys me.
And, and the Sea of Thieves ones, they're like supposed to be this funny, quirky thing, and then the Fallout 76 is always like a real like video recorded guy talking and trying to be funny. It just comes off as like, shut up. I'm a big Fallout 76 fan. I played the crap out of it in 23, but as a big fan, I'm like, just go. Thank you. That could be a tweet. But
exactly.
Well, let's talk about.
Sorry, go ahead.
Let's talk about what was missing. What were the big omissions? Because we have a lot to talk about that was there, but you and I were like just chattering during Rand's live stream about what we wanted to see, what had to be there that we didn't get.
Like I said before, I don't think Xbox had to show something that absolutely needed to be there because last year's show was so strong, and this year they have delivered so many games. Like, okay, Avowed was liked by a lot of people. It wasn't like a big meta banger, not that we were expecting it to be.
Yeah.
Then you had Doom, The Dark Ages coming, Indiana Jones came in the tail end of last year. Then you've had, multiple, the Elder Scrolls, Oblivion remake, and all that eases the pressure on Xbox to deliver in some way, shape, or form when Xbox is hitting other metrics out. Like they've got big bangers out there. People are, talking about these games like in a big way. The Elder Scrolls, Elder Scrolls, the remake of Oblivion was really well received. And, your Doom, The Dark Ages was brilliant. I love that game. And all that serves to kind of lower the expectation bar a little bit. Xbox didn't need to go as hard as they needed to before because you have to remember, a lot of the time the frustration that the Xbox community had was Xbox not delivering in any metric. So sometimes they had that 2022, which is horrible. They weren't delivering on any metric. So when Xbox has an incredible showcase last year that completely just demolished everyone, and then this year delivers arguably the best showcase. Jeff Keighley's poll is out and Xbox is getting majority A and B. It's beating out the other shows quite comprehensively in terms of
kind of like a B plus. What was Keighley's show grade? Did you remember?
Looking at it. Let me actually check. Yeah, while you're doing it, like the good old days, eh, Colt? Yeah, like the good old days.
I know it's effortless, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
oh no, here's one actually. After final results of 118,000 votes, it settled majoritarily. The majority settled at B at 31.9%, nearly 32%.
how much of it is at A?
So the A is much less. So the A rating on theirs, his is 22%. Now Xbox voting hasn't completed yet, but Xbox is already at 31, not 21, 31% at A, 34% at B, and then it's C at 19%. So I'm in the kind of more minority 20%ish thing.
Yeah, I was feeling C plus as soon as they wrapped, and then yeah, I don't know. I have some biases because there were some other games that I was more excited about than other people would be, but that midsection was absolute trash. I don't know. I just feel like they just had, like, we got to show these. We told these people we'd work with them. It's like, yeah, I don't know. That's how it feels.
It does, but the thing is, I'm not like overly like concerned for. Well, I'm on PC now. No, but I'm not overly concerned about Xbox's performance there generally anyway, because Xbox, out of all the 3 platform holders, seems to be just first party output is on another level. So they're doing that. Then they're producing games. Then they're releasing the games. And then they get decent critical reception. Haven't got their 90 plus mad banger yet, but that will come. So I think what will happen now is, like, next year, then there will be pressure for your Gears, for your Perfect Darks, for your State of Decays. Like what's happening with these big games.
Yeah.
And Everwild, which doesn't exist. And lots of other stuff. Where is that game? Where is Everwild, man? Like, I want to see that game. I'm actually really excited about Everwild. I want to see like what they do with it.
Well, when you don't see Everwild, Perfect Dark, Gears E-Day, or whatever, when you don't see him, or Fable, right? When you don't see him, it makes you feel like, what kind of? You've got so much stuff like ready to release in 25 and 26, and you say these games are 2026. I know that they're going to do a direct, but I don't know.
Swing is here too. This is the PlayStation absolute zealot. He's here in your chat.
Who is it?
I love this guy. He's a major PlayStation guy. Seawolf Swim.
Okay.
He was like parroting the 3 Horizons.
Oh, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, Happy Cloud Gamer goes, Colt, where was Starfield's expansion? I have no idea. Like, where in the heck? What are they going to put out? Like I guess Bethesda could put out a 6-minute video on their channel and say, we're excited about Starfield, where you'll be in the same boring universe that Colteastwood absolutely loves. I guess. I would only assume if you're not at the showcase, you're not ready. And if you're not ready, like what's wrong? That's my question. Like, what's wrong, guys? Like, why aren't? I don't know. I think Fable had a cool little like vignette that they showed early this year, and they said, they came out in like January or something, said we're not going to make 2025, which means if you're not going to make 9-10 months, you're further out than a year delay. So yeah, it just makes me wonder, what problems are you having? I don't know. I was so surprised I did not remember the Eidos Montreal's helping out Fable. So what about Gears, guys? Are you frustrated with Gears E-Day not even making an appearance?
I didn't expect it that much. I really want it to be good. I feel like we're in good hands with Coalition, and there were some murmurs like it's going to come out this year, and I thought that's really far-fetched. I don't see why that would even happen. But at the same time, I don't know, man. Like, I don't expect it this year. If you're going to show it, I don't want to also wait ages for it, and I don't think it's coming out this year. 2026 is crazy though, because everything's going up against GTA, and GTA 6 is going to be something that eclipses so many titles, and I think that is where it's going to dominate the conversation. And so what you might happening in GTA in 2026 is what an incredible year where you have Perfect Dark, you have Gears of War, you have State of Decay, potentially. You can have all these games launching in a very... Did you see Jeff Keighley show everything was 2026 on the Xbox Showcase? Everything was 2026.
There's easily like 50... Everyone wants to play it right now, games that are slated for 2026, and they all have to maneuver around Grand Theft Auto. And 2025 was already like a record-setting year. I put out a video last week about how 2007 was peak gaming, and somebody commented yesterday and said, imagine the audacity of making this video right now when 2025 has been one of the best years in a long time. And I was like, dang, that's so true. So true. KY Bob leaves a super chat. Appreciate him so much for the super. He goes, take it from me, a guy with an ME in electronics and computer science. The X version of the black ROG Ally Xbox handheld is an AMZ2 Extreme AI chip or A1 chip with 24 gigabytes of GDDR5 RAM. Think the Series S Pro in a handheld is what he's saying. That new Xbox handheld is. But my problem with that handheld is like, all of your console games will not play on this new device. That's my only problem with that thing. Well, you want to talk about the handheld real quick, Mr. Septic Sauce?
Yeah, go for it. Are you going to buy it? It's going to be
I will not buy
price.
it. I will not buy it. I've got a $700 ROG Ally right there that I use when I travel. I'm not going to spend another $900 for the Z Extreme or whatever it is. What do you think about that showing? Were you impressed with anything on it?
Not really. Well, the handheld, it looks kind of nice. I've got a Steam Deck. I've got the Switch 2, which is not used at all.
Holding down everything in the room.
It's literally, I just took this dock out. It's still in the plastic. I haven't even turned it on. I don't even know if
too late to return it.
I might turn it on soon. Bro, who's gonna buy that thing, man? Like, I don't get it. Like, just what's the appeal? You tell me. What's the appeal for that device?
I don't know. People really like the Steam Deck more than I think they like the Steam Deck more than the ROG Ally, and I think the ROG Ally is like number 2. And I don't know. Like they kind of cater this thing toward people who build their game library on Xbox and PC, but that's kind of a niche customer. Like you and I are that customer that builds our games on PC and Xbox, or have done that along the way, right? That I've been trying to tell people, don't get super excited about this ROG Ally, and then they announce that they're sidelining or probably canceling the Xbox native handheld. But
bro, all this conversation is really important when you talk about in the vein of the handheld device that was a native Xbox device. Everything else is like whatever. Like I don't care, personally care. Someone in chat might care. A lot of people might do. But I don't really care about that. I want a more native device like Xbox were doing. Now, the thing that's really important that this showcase event really showed, and I think Xbox deserve a lot of props for, is the Xbox Play Anywhere initiative. That thing is crazy, and that everything that Sarah Bond was talking about, or after the fact, or everything on the show perhaps, was all Xbox Play Anywhere. And that thing is a game changer, especially for people who nowadays, like me, move across multiple devices. Indiana Jones move over, I could carry on my save. It's just so effortless. PlayStation doesn't do it like that, and PlayStation needs to get murked for that. Like, what is going on? It's like, it makes you wonder. It's so good you feel it's industry standard, but it's not. And that's kind of crazy, and Xbox is leading the charge there.
It's not a technical or legal or software limitation. All PlayStation has to do is just give entitlement to their customers. If you buy Helldivers 2 on PS5, and you want to go play it over on PC, all they have to do is just say, okay. And I don't often bash PlayStation as much as people think I do, but they literally could offer back compat with PS3 just by saying, if we have it available to you on cloud, if you own it digitally, you can absolutely play it for free on cloud. There's your back compat. And they've had that opportunity for 10 years. They don't care about cross entitlement. They don't care about the pro consumer thing of letting you buy your game once. Xbox isn't doing it because of Windows PC. They just give that entitlement, and then they partner with other studios. Everything we saw today was Play Anywhere, which kind of limited the games we got to see. I don't know if they did that on purpose. I would have rather them show everything that's amazing. than everything that's Play Anywhere, but I don't know.
I mean, I just don't think they had that much to show for this showcase. It was still good. It was solid. I'm not going to say it's terrible, not at all. And there are a few surprise things for me. Like I have to say, I'm very surprised at how good Clockwork looks. Now that looks like a special title. It really does.
Let me see if I can scrub to that. It didn't already show, did it? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. It should be up in just a second. Yeah, keep going. Yeah.
So that is really, really, really something that took me by surprise. As not by surprise, but it's like, you know, it looked as promising initially with this initial reveal, and where we did basically see gameplay. But the second time around, it's the art style, not just the art style, it's the characters, the swearing, the character. It was genuinely funny, not gamer. Like that cheese, you know, that who the hell was that guy at the Outer Worlds? That guy from the other
guy
TV
from Parks
shows.
And Rec. I can't remember his name.
He's like the same annoying character. And he's just like, oh, not this guy. And they got him on for that. I was like, bruh, that guy's so dry to me. It's humor is personal. I have weird sense of humor. I get it.
He's not well liked on, like, he plays a really annoying character on Parks and Rec, and you're not supposed to like him, but he's less funny than you and I are. How about that? Look at the doll in Clockwork Revolution, the pissed off doll. Yeah, bro.
We genuinely a dialogue and laughed at the character design. Like, that's hard to do. That's really hard to do. Like, I feel like humor in games, either it's like the High in Life 2, which was a crazy shock reveal, although that only had a CGI kind of reveal of its stuff, and I'm a bit pessimistic about that. For a game that's coming out.
That's weird to say, coming out like probably December, like the last one did, and like all fully pre-rendered CGI with path tracing. Was kind of like, just show us what the game looks like. I'm sure it'll look good.
Yeah, exactly. It's just weird.
Clockwork Revolution though.
It was good. First game, actually, High on Life 1 looked really good on Unreal Engine. I think it was Unreal Engine.
Yeah, probably. Everything's Unreal Engine. But I want to know while we got Clockwork Revolution up, I want to hear what, like, your impressions, like, what does it remind you of? What do you like, what you don't like?
You know, Clockwork Revolution reminds you of the best parts of, like, BioShock Infinite. Kind of gave me that vibe there, but then the gameplay was really surprising to me, because there was elements of the best part, and I don't even like Dishonored that much, but there was like that fluidity in their combat was crazy. The making your character seemed really cool. The way everything is just refined. There's this weird sheen gold kind of art style, like old school kind of. It has its own distinct flavor, is what I'm trying to say.
Did you think it looked so much like Outer Worlds 2, like I kept saying in the other stream?
Yeah, it did, but it had its own distinct. The characters there were really interesting to me, man.
They're higher quality characters than Outer Worlds, I think.
Even like down to the way that, like, the chat thing came up, and it's like these little things. Just like in Exile, man, like all they've been doing is dropping memes online, but of other people's titles.
No, are you guys even working over there?
Yeah, but they're quite funny in the stuff they do. So it kind of makes tracks that, oh yeah, these are the same guys who were dropping little memes here and there are actually quite funny and understand that stuff.
I gotta interrupt you with this one, because it kind of goes in line with what you're saying. Isn't it funny how everyone said that Microsoft and Xbox was going to dictate what these studios do and micromanage them? But you see Clockwork Revolution, and it's like, there's no way. Like, they have been so hands off, letting these guys make whatever they want. Lots of swearing, a lot of blood, guy pissing his pants. Like, it's good to see, bro.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's a very good point that you raised. For the longest time, there was this thing like Microsoft need to be management. You know, we were saying the same thing, like Microsoft need to be managed, and that they don't know what they're doing, and they haven't got good quality control, which they didn't. So they've clearly learned. And obviously, through a process of acquiring so many studios, some are managing. Yeah, well, they had to, and to be honest with you, we're getting the best case scenario with them, because they are actually delivering. They've allowed these teams the autonomy that they need to build these games. They're managing their expectations of fans very well, much better than before. And basically, the results are showing. So you're not seeing a studio that's stifled in terms of creativity. In fact, look at the games that they were showing today. Like, do you think Clockwork Revolution is not your by the numbers little title? This is like a very creative title. You've got Grounded 2, which is the fact that we've got a sequel clearly shows a Grounded 1, which you absolutely love and your kids love. It's got lots of players. They've now greenlit a sequel, and that looks really good. And that's a creative title as well. And you've got all this creativity. You've got Double Fine. That's like the height of creativity with whatever the hell that tower, like base fortress game. Like you've got all this creative stuff coming from like flaccid, creatively defunct Microsoft. It's like, bruh. Like that
the secret is within their studios, and if they could just let the studios run Xbox, and things will be fine, because everything outside the studios is just absolute disappointment. That's frustrated you and I for 2+ years, right?
Exactly.
We've made a few enemies complain about delay Halo, and we were right.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Like, it's just, I don't know.
This just was a good show, though. You and I were kind of lower on the rating scale, and
we are different in that we have high expectations of what we think Xbox needs to be doing. But it's not a terrible show. It was I gave it a C. A C is not a bad score. It's not like a D. Like, I know there's not much separating a C or D. It's just one score away. It just wasn't for me, but I understand a lot of people would enjoy it. But I think the C belies the depth of something like Clockwork Revolution really looking so good. Outer Worlds 2, not on my map. Like, wasn't really on my radar. Now it definitely. I didn't expect to be watching the developer direct, not dev direct, the 40-minute showcase post-show thing. But I was, and I was like, this game looks good. This game looks really good. Every time they've shown that game, it's had a glow up. Every time. Like some really major sizable upgrade. So I'm excited about the only problem with these games, they're so long, and it's just like, bruh, can you just give me something linear now? I just need something just to to complete.
I think Outer Worlds 1 was a 25-hour game. If you kind of did mostly everything. This one's probably going to be a little bit longer, but I can't get over how I did not expect Clockwork Revolution to look better visually than Outer Worlds 2. And Outer Worlds 2 does look really well improved. And I've been excited about Outer Worlds 2 for a long time. I was excited about the Outer Worlds 2 third-person camera. Like, that's always a complaint with Xbox games. Like, everything's Halo this, Halo that. And I'm glad that they put a third-person camera in there. Even Avowed did it.
Quote tweet with the little zip. Like, why did you even say anything?
That was about the. So Jez Corden's got an article up about all the specs and everything to do with that ROG Ally Xbox handheld. So that's what that was all about. Satya was excited to announce that, so they can make a bunch of money off of Asus's back and get people buying the handheld. We'll see. It's a nice looking device, though. It's really nice looking, and it's going to be powerful.
It does look nice. Maybe I'm just being pessimistic. A lot of people are excited about it, but the big question mark is, what is the price point?
You know that amazing moment when the Nexus comes up on the screen and you know you're about.
I don't know.
Was that from you?
But no?
I could hear Sarah Bond for a second there on your computer.
That's the problem. Sorry. I've got. That's what I was trying to figure out. This is routing in the line out.
At least it wasn't the other browser you had open.
It's not watching. I guess not hearing that.
Gaz and I have a string of Instagram reels that the FBI probably wants to check out. KY Bob, thanks for the super. Goes, you called it, Colt. First party handheld is dead. Xbox is tweeting out, the Xbox handheld is here. Close quote. They are just about to ride with this one. Yeah, absolutely. You're right, KY Bob. I bet you they are. I bet you they saw this thing. They're like, why waste our money on our own native handheld? Which is dumb, because the native handheld is what 30 million console users would want. You know, there's like 60 million console users on Xbox right now, still on Xbox One and Series X. KY Bob with another says, they said your whole library. Did you miss that? Did they really say that? They're working they said they're working to get your whole library on Windows. And I report on this people made fun of me last year, guys, that Phil Spencer is working to get your entire Xbox console library on PC and Xbox and back and forth with the new console system. Yeah, and he's working through the.
Someone came up on stage to mention that and really make a point about that, and very strongly and emotively. even if it was in the script, to say that. And I think that's a big deal, man.
That is huge.
Props, man. You know me, man. If it's a stupid thing, I would say it's a stupid thing, or a middling thing, or just a marketing thing. But they're taking it seriously. No one else is taking it as seriously as Microsoft.
Yeah, you and Gas and I are on PC more. Over the past year, I've been on PC more than I have been in 10 years. And if you know me, I was a main on PC around 2016, 2017, and then back to console. But I own, let's say, about 1,500 games on Xbox. And only about 300 of those, maybe even less, carry over. Probably way less than that carry over. So like when I think about, I want to replay such and such game, I have to rebuy it on PC if I want to replay it. And I think Phil's team and Jason Ronald's team, and Jason Ronald's probably doing interviews right now. He was talking to our buddy Fonz is at the showcase, and he's probably not watching this stream, but if you are, bro, love you. Hope you're having a good time. I know he's having fun. But Jason Ronald is doing interviews about this push for them to either software-wise or legality-wise get you entitlement to your games across PC and console without the stupidity of the industry getting in the way. Where, because Ubisoft lets you play your games back and forth if you're on Ubisoft Plus, and Xbox is doing it, EA's been doing it, and PlayStation is like the PlayStation and Nintendo don't want to do that. So it is a big deal, and I think it's part of the future. Next generation, if you decide to get a console or a PC, hopefully all of your games come forward with you instead of being left behind.
Yeah.
So
it's a smart play. Others will start playing catch up with that eventually, but Microsoft obviously has the bank to make it happen quicker. And they deserve respect for that. That's one thing I will say. I'll be honest with you. Like, I mean, you know me, and I'm not going to labor the point, but this whole thing I've kind of boycotted Game Pass. But at the same time, I'm just thinking, well, it makes no sense. So am I buying them full price? I'm at this weird quandary right now. And that quandary is worsening because of the fact that the Xbox Game Pass is ridiculous now. Like, if even like, I think PlayStation guys who even open their mouth about how bad it is to get, are afraid to do that because they'll get chewed out. Because Game Pass is getting crazy now, crazy right now. Like it was crazy already, but it just keeps getting worse or better. I don't know. It's mad.
Rand was trying to count. I think he might be under, but Rand's quick count was this year alone, Xbox has 12 first-party games in 2025.
Yeah.
And look at the competition. Like, the competition doesn't have that much first-party output. And Xbox has so many studios, but I wonder if I cut back to here if it'll continue. Yeah, I wanted to cut away so we didn't have to watch that trash Elder Scrolls. No, I'm just joking. So we didn't have to watch the Elder Scrolls thing because that was kind of goofy looking. But yeah, I don't know. Well, we were talking over Chronos. So you want me to go back to Chronos real quick? Or do you remember it?
Yeah. Chronos was amazing, man. Chronos looks really, really good. It's kind of the type of game we saw a lot of at Jeff Keighley's show. And Chronos looks amazing, man. That game there's Unreal Engine 5, I bet. I don't even know if it is, but I'm pretty sure Chronos is on UE5.
It's hard to get right to it because this video is so long. It'll
chat,
pop
do
up
you know
in a
if it's on
second.
UE5? I'll figure out if it is. Let me just look at it. The things.
We have a long running argument like with Zocker about how Unreal Engine 5 is going to help speed up the industry.
It's already helping. It's already doing it. People don't realize it. Is it popular to hate the big thing? There are absolute negatives of UE5. No one's saying it's a perfect engine. The starters, all of that stuff. The homogenization of game development and design. You saw that with the Xbox 360, the browns and the same palettes and all of that stuff. But UE5, what separates that from other previous iterations of Unreal Engine is the fact that the games, it's a very, very malleable and very dynamic engine. You're seeing some crazy stuff. You saw some weird puppet kind of game coming out on UE, developed on UE5 on Summer Game Fest. That game looked insane. It looks so very visually diverse.
It's Unreal Engine 5. It is. I looked it up. Yeah. It's from Blooper Studio. Yeah. Chronos, The New Dawn is on Unreal Engine 5. So our argument is that you get the tech out of the way, like all the technical, like building, deforming, just making all of this stuff and all these assets and the meta-human thing where you can bring capture to life much easier. You get that out of the way so the devs can focus on making a really great, memorable game instead of having the technical limitations of building. And our buddy Zocker's like, you need coders and programmers. I'm like, they're always going to be there. They're not the ones that make sure the game is fun or make sure the game is has great mechanics, and they're doing the coding. 557 and asterisks and the pound sign. Yeah, no, I don't care. I'm a gamer. I care about if the games are good, and I'm sick of 6-year development cycles. Yeah.
KY Bob says UE5 is a resource hog. Yes, okay. Yeah. But everyone's using it, including CD Projekt Red, who have forsaken their own Red engine for this.
Even Halo.
Halo, freaking through Halo Studios are using that engine. I mean, everyone's crying about AAA development is so expensive, the spiraling costs, this and that, and then you got this engine that is permitting everyone from indies and I was playing, what's the game called? I keep thinking I'm streaming, so I can't minimize stuff. Acts of Blood. That was a UE5 game built by single Indonesian man, and
that's like the Sifu beat 'em up one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Download the demo when you get your Steam account figured out.
Yeah, no, I have. I figured out why it was, because I had 2 PCs. I didn't realize it was like, they were like, you're already signed in. I'm like, no,
Oh, you got it fixed. Okay.
Yeah, download
the demo. Let me read this.
You got Expedition 33, which is 30-man plus team, say 80 with total, whatever it is. And you've got AAAs using it. So there's a reason for it. It's going to break the deadlock of the absolute utter bullshit you've got from AAA space doing nothing because it's so stifled by this whole budget constraints. And now you can quickly realize stuff with that motion capture stuff. You can freaking learn it and understand how to use this engine. It's needed. And
there's the stutter problem. There's a traversal stutter problem that people complain about. And then there's the asset dump thing. Like, I don't want to see a bunch of small developers go, hey, we've got all these assets we can throw in and make the game look like The Last of Us Part 2 in a year, and then they crank out some swill. But I mean, that's not really what we're worried about. We're looking at all these big games and trying to get them away from a 6-year dev cycle. Trunket, thank you so much for Super says, with Forza Horizon, Gears, E-Day, Fable, and Halo confirmed next year, the next Xbox will launch next year, getting even GTA 6 as a next-gen sequel. I don't think so. No, the next console's 2027 is what the report is. But holy crap, what an amazing lineup. It's amazing. Let's see. It might be past Elder Scrolls 6. There we go.
Xbox's lineup is mad now. It's just very different. Like, I know the multi-plat nature of it eclipses a lot of it in the core circle discourse, which is not really permeating the mass market, I'll be honest with you, because people are like, well, okay, who cares? But generally, you have to look at Microsoft. They keep smashing it. Jeff Keighley's poll Xbox keeps smashing it. The game releases out there. PlayStation's the #1 guy. Remember this. PlayStation is untouchable. They keep the untouchable. They're great, great, great. And all you're hearing from actually honest PlayStation guys is like, you know what? They're not really. What's happened? We're supposed to be the first party machine, and we're holding on to Ghost of Yotai for like years, and then we're holding on to Death Stranding. It's not even first party title, but we're holding on to that for ages. And it's just like, well, obviously, they're not comparable now because of the scale of Microsoft. And it's starting to become benign because the reality is so much of PlayStation's slate is on PC. So all this stuff is just starting to, like, I get it. I hold on to it very strongly because...
What about Lost Soul Side going to PC? That went over okay, didn't it?
Oh yeah, God, and man, JTech. I wish you could bring this play that stuff on here. He went mental, and you know what? The way he cries is the way how every pony thinks. They just don't want to admit it. They're just so salty. Remember, I heard Lost Soul Aside. So many, I didn't even know what it was for years. They were like Lost Soul Aside. And it gets announced, and the PC's there day and day. Just like the fighting game was the big reveal for them. Fighting the Marvel game, PC, there and there. And then Lost Soul Aside, not only that, the developers actually went out to then work with NVIDIA to show how much better the PC version is with FrameGen and all these techs. And I was like, bruh, you catering for me, man. And I love it. And so this is the realities that people need to face. And I keep saying this, and it's going to sound stupid. It's going to sound copium or whatnot. I just think it's not as stupid as it sounds. In fact, it's actually common sense. Chat, you tell me this, yeah? You're telling me Sony is watching Microsoft making money ham over fist. The struggling freaking console manufacturer that couldn't really get any foothold in this space is now dominating so rawly on old games on PlayStation's own stores, outdoing them and constantly making more money. Game Pass hasn't died down. The hype hasn't died down. People crying about the sustainability hasn't. But it's still sustainable, right? People are still talking about it.
Yep.
And now you've made it more sustainable by basically supplementing their revenue, and they're dominating the charts. What do you think Sony's going to do? You think Sony's going to... If you're Sony, what do you do? Just sit there? Oh, we're making 30%.
Well, they sit there and make 30% off of if Xbox dominates the top 10 of the sold games.
They just let that happen?
Well, I mean, they want Xbox to choke out and die, but they know that's a reality that'll never come true for them, because they want Xbox removed from the competition in their space. They've tried, and they are fearful of Xbox because now they're bigger than just a piece of plastic competing for the money, because now Xbox is providing the games. And I said during Rand's live stream, I'm like, Xbox is the game maker this generation. They've got 12 games this year. They've got a bunch next year. Their first party output is, they're not just putting out more games, guys, they're finally putting out better games. It's unbelievable. I never thought it would happen, because for a decade they were awful. And I was sitting there waiting for, I remember when Grounded first got announced and Bleeding Edge in 2019, there was no Fable at that show. Like I said, I gave this show a C+ at first, and I'll probably stick with a C+ because the first is amazing. That midsection was such a dip. Like if I go back here, if you're watching like my stream that of us, like here's that game where the guy's dancing around and vacuuming up books. And I'm like, okay, Disney the game, bring it on. Yeah. Why are you gay?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's what is it? There are no ghosts at the Grand. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, no, man. Yeah, it's a very interesting landscape. I just feel like Sony, you can't expect the status quo from Sony. If people think that, oh yeah, what's Sony gonna do? We're gonna stick to our same, we're gonna wait, third party, what are they doing? Look at their showcase events. They're doing nothing. They'll show you one exclusive and that's it. You'll be happy about it. And that's it. And then mostly third party padding. And then you're excited about this platform because it's number one.
Hey, Wolverine showed well the other day, right?
Oh, and they show you 5 seconds of Ghost of Yotai. You can see the wolf's teeth again. Like, okay, that's great. Oh, that's amazing. It's just like, I'm like, bruh, why would you show that? Like, what's the point? You showed so much in the first showcase. Now you show us the wolf's teeth in a cutscene. Like, this is going to be something I'm going to expect.
You know what I totally expected was like 18 seconds of in-game combat, and then boom, like we'll show you more. Yeah. But like they leave the places, you guys are like out the window waiting to see something, and it's been a long wait. They're still amazing. Yeah. They made them wait all last year, and then they put out Astrobot for Game of the Year. What's that? I've
pissed PlayStation guys off so much. I've said, look, Xbox Full Slate is coming to PlayStation. Yeah, Final Fantasy coming to Xbox hurts them so much, and everyone's like, "Who's upset? Show me!" And someone's trying to community note my tweet, and I'm like,
"Is that not bait?"
Yeah, bro, I'm just laughing at their everyone and their mum knows every pony is salty as hell about Final Fantasy. I don't know why they care so much, but they do, and it hurts them. And I am laughing at glee with their reactions. But them saying, show me, where am I mad? Where am I mad? and then the community can be like, it's the engagement farming. When previously last year, when I said it's coming to Xbox and it didn't happen that following Xbox, like they were like, look at that. You thought it was going to come out. And then boom, now you're like, oh, we don't care anymore. We don't care.
Yep.
Right.
What about this this Splinter Cell from Korea or whatever? What did you call this one? It's on screen right now. I don't even remember what the game was called. But it had the blonde girl in the jean jacket, and then the Splinter Cell like dudes murking people.
Oh
and-
yeah, that game looked mental. What was it called? It's Mudang, Two Hearts.
Oh yeah, Mudang, Two Hearts. Yeah. Good memory.
Yeah, it just looks insane. There's not memory. I've just got it on screen. It just looks. It looks amazing. Yeah, it is.
I mean, could this be a mid, like, could this be like Crossfire X level of midness, or does this look like it's going to be the sauce? It looks.
You know what? I'll tell you what. Have you got it up on stream?
Yeah, it's up on stream right now. Yeah, in real
Yeah.
time.
So the only thing I will say is there's a lot of repetition on animations. I don't know if they cut it in that way to show that. So bam, 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 same animations. But it just looked like.
Oh yeah, they did.
There was a lot of it. Like I was like, what's the gameplay really gonna be? How dynamic is the gunplay? Because you've shown this vertical slice, and they can be very, very deceptive. Now I'll say, and this is a bit unfair, but the comparison here is Acts of Blood, that almost the Raid Redemption game made by one guy. So let's just be mindful of the fact that it's one Indonesian guy who did the voice acting. I think himself as well, because there was just like not that great English dub over it, but. It showed off so well in the Summer Game Fest. It looked amazing. But when you play the game, it's like, oh, this does feel like an indie game. Like it's a bit.
When you play Axe of Blood?
Axe of Blood, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it can be fun. The combat is fun. It's very Batman in that sense. But it looks beautiful, thanks to UE5. But I was like, oh, right. It's the vertical slice and sizzle reel really made this look better than it is. But try it out. Make up your mind on Steam. And that's kind of concern you have with these kind of things, especially like I've never heard of the studio, and it's coming out from South Korea, smashing it, like Korea and Asia smashing it out the park. But
let's see if I can look it up.
At the same time, I'm just like, I don't. I want it to be good because it looks sick. Like this is probably one of the best looking titles of the show. Like I would say it's like there with Clockwork Revolution, or I was more shocked by this.
It says an elite North Korean Special Forces operative team fighting. Oh, please.
North Korean?
Yeah, it says a Korean third-person shooter with some sci-fi elements. Seems to be a male protagonist and a girl with superpowers. It's set in the unified nation of Korea in the near future. The scenario known as the North Korean soldier who comes to South Korea as a military exchange program. That could be really, really cool.
Yeah.
There was a rumor about the next Black Ops or the next Call of Duty being like against North Korea, but maybe that was wires crossed between this game reveal or something. But I don't know. It looks cool.
Yeah.
I hope it's good. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
A lot of that. I hope it's good. And you're pretty excited about Planet of Lana 2. You played the first one. I didn't.
Planet of Lana, yeah, I completed that one. That game was beautiful. Me and Randall watching it, and we were like, oh, well, you were there as well. And we were like, they're showing bits of the first one. It's not really a sequel, is it? And then they started showing more and more of the level. And we're like, oh my God, they're going to do a Planet of Lana 2. And it's like, it's a really beautiful game. It's one of those, the like kind of Ori kind of really beautiful, great
Emotional.
soundtrack, great vistas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're very emotional with you. Have a cute character there, and then just like, oh, okay, yeah.
Wait, you have feelings?
Sometimes. On Tuesdays.
Everything was Play Anywhere in the show. What's next that they're going to show here? Bethesda. If this is fishing, Bethesda. I wonder how. I'll cut off of this for a second. I wonder how Tim Dog's feeling. Pretty good show.
Tim Taylor says worst showcase ever. 3 out of 10. Phil Spencer killed me. And Phil Spencer slept with my mom or something like that.
I called him the other day and he didn't call me back, so I'm assuming our friendship's over. No.
What did he say? Oh God, he tweeted out a lot. Wait. Where is it?
I could tell Gaz would get really quiet when we're in the stream because he was tweeting out like absolute napalm.
Just calling people all day. He goes, worst show ever. It was like a long inside Xbox. Xbox has lost its way. Phil referring to that as your Xbox hardware is all you need to know for the console. 3 out of 10. He's just burnt out, man. He's crashed out.
I thought he would have really enjoyed it because he's kind of like shifted into the I just care about the games because you kind of have to after Xbox everything Xbox has done to the diehards, right?
The rest of Tim's existence on social media is going to be doing the exact same thing he's doing now. He'll be talking about Xbox when Yeah, it's just like, bruh.
Tell him to get on.
I mean, yeah, but, huh?
I said, tell him to get on here.
Yeah, no, I'd rather not. Get a new mic. Yeah, I don't know, but I say that yeah, I liked him. He's just a funny character, but he's done the crap gamer arc.
As a massive fanboy, I have to explain that it can. I've really that's right. I've really liked Xbox for a long time. Defended a lot of stuff and then bashed a lot of stuff they've done. But I can totally understand how people lose their way when their whole reality and their whole personality is defending their team. And we see it all the time. People make personal attacks. Like, well, I put out a tweet was the Black Myth Wukong sure looked like a deal, right? And then people were like, you're bald. And it's like, you know how mad they are because they just do not want to accept the reality that PlayStation signed a deal with Wukong, which they did. And where's your proof?
Yeah.
You'll never see it. You'll never see a proof unless there's some type of like court case where they have to dig up a file. I don't know why PlayStation didn't shout it from the rooftops.
I'm not saying that there was a deal, but I just feel like it's very, very convenient that this is happening. And based on some of the stuff that we heard, yeah. but it's also the sources and where they're coming from, what people at Xbox have actually said, and who is actually the one talking about this stuff, which just makes it very interesting.
We talked to the people that talked to the person last year at Summer Games Fest, and it's like,
we can't expect everyone to rely on our hearsay. So
I don't expect. Yeah, people are like, "Where's the proof?" I'm like, "Well, you're not going to get it. Sorry. I guess you just have to say, I think I know, and you think you know, and that's all there is to it." But you're pretty excited about this anime game, Arise. What was it called?
Which one?
The one that you said, the anime with the monsters that come. Solo Leveling. Yeah.
Solo Leveling.
It just finished showing on the screen. So that one's pretty cool. It's not coming to PlayStation.
I don't know why.
It's not on there.
Anime game. It's really weird. Solo Leveling is brilliant anime. If anyone's watched it, it is amazing. Even if you're not an anime fan.
Did you reach out to Japan 8's Xbox and ask him how he felt about Solo Leveling not coming to PS5? Did he?
Yeah, him for Final Fantasy coming to freaking Xbox was good. I don't know what he's gonna do. I'm just lucky. We should all be thankful, everyone in chat, that Japan 8 Xbox has moved away out of the US where guns are readily available to Japan.
he's like holding his phone doing it, but he was like, he's like wheezing. He's got asthma and obesity and.
He's projecting madly. Like he says, "Hello, shitbox hillbillies," as he sounds like a hillbilly in Japan. Guess who's back? Japan is dead. Games are coming, and Japan hates Xbox. That's why Final Fantasy and every Japanese game's coming to Xbox. He's such a loser, man. He's an old man. You see his reflection, you can see he's gigantically fat as well, and he's just there going outside a freaking Japanese 7-Eleven shop going, "Hey, look, guess what? Xbox kick billies." It's like, you can't make this guy up. He actually exists in real life. It's not satire. It's not a character. He exists.
We don't know if these people might just be a server farm of phones in like.
No. He's pre-AI. He's pre-AI. He's pre-Chat GPT. This guy definitely exists. There's no way even Chat GPT can make up the bullshit that guy.
Let me go back to this right at the end of Solo Leveling. I gotta get you. We had a pretty funny take on Rand's show about Animo. Sorry, it was like the Power World meets Pokemon meets Infinity Nikki. If you go to the screen, if you're able to watch it.
Yeah,
Gaz is like, Gaz laughing, and then he goes, "Huh, visuals actually pretty good graphics."
This game, this is like mad. It's
like,
pretty
you
mad.
capture critters or what? Like, I don't know. This was like in the lull,
but it's just, it looks like, capturing and stuff. Nintendo's not going to be happy about this. They just don't care. But it looks like, look at the visuals. Like the visuals are insane. Look at the water. Look at the forest level.
It's
Look at
pretty
the
looking.
lighting, and it's very, very impressive visually. We're starting to see visuals so comprehensively, just like wow, and
Or
that's
just
thanks to you.
easy on the eyes. This game doesn't look.
Yeah.
It's just really nice on the eyes. We're totally shifting gears here, but it is a
But,
game showcase
yeah.
post show. But yeah, I mean, do the
Nintendo's
little hula
definitely
dance. You know, it's so funny because about a year and a half ago, you and I were streaming the State of Play when I was in London with you, and we were laughing our heads off about Infinity Nikki. And by the end of the year, that's like the biggest game in the universe. And it's the Gaz and Colt curse.
Yeah.
I went to PAX
Yeah,
like a
man.
few months later, and this Infinity Nikki booth took up like the entire floor, and I'm like, Gaz, we're in trouble. We made fun of the wrong game.
No, I'm not talking about the popularity of it. It's just weird. It's just funny. It's just like it's the perfect PlayStation game. Just dress up little anti things. Yeah, go for it. I think that's what the game's about.
And then Tony Hawk gets on the screen. He looks like he's 90. He's probably in his 50s.
It's really sad seeing these people get older. Like I say, your heroes get older and older. Tony Hawk's looks like a PlayStation fan waiting for exclusives, man. He has gone visually.
You know,
oh, that's terrible.
In all
That's
seriousness, I mean, I'm old. I'm almost 50. It really does make me sad when I see my favorite musicians or
Yeah.
actors that I grew up with. Because like I have this picture in my mind whenever I think about Harrison Ford. He looks like Indiana Jones, and then he walks in on an interview, and I'm like, oh yeah, he's like 80, and it makes me sad because we all age, and I don't know why I haven't accepted it, but.
No, honestly, I mean, that's just one of the most human things. Watching your parents get older is very painful. You can't do anything about it. Same thing
yeah.
on a lesser degree to heroes and people like you know, TV stars that you've grew up watching, just getting older. It's hard. Like, you know, Phil Spencer looks like, you know, we make content on Phil Spencer a lot. So, you know, when we were clipping him, Phil Spencer, obviously, we're all getting older. So
I've got a totally different opinion on Phil Spencer than the rest of everyone else watching the show. I don't know what he's doing to lose so much weight, but his midsection was so flat. I was so jealous. I think he looks really good, but when you lose weight at a certain age, your skin really can start to look older. But I think he looks really healthy, and everyone thinks the opposite. I think he looks great, and I bet he's really happy putting on pants, because when you get to be in my age and you put on a pair of pants, you're like, you fat piece of crap. I think he looks great.
The concern is sometimes when people suddenly lose weight as well, that there are two things. Either they're on Ozempic, either they've really started to look after their weight after the gym. Remember COVID, he gained weight, and we all did, so it's not fair. Plus of his age, maybe
There's a picture of us together in London, and we looked pregnant.
Bro, we were fat as hell. But Phil Spencer, or, you know, the worst case scenario is, you know, it's a health thing, and I hope it's not that. I pray it's not that. And, you know, like we learned that with Chadwick Boseman. Like, you can't write off things like that. So I pray it's just the Ozempic. I imagine it, because you've got that kind of Ozempic face. You know, that the skin, like, because of that rapid weight loss happens at such quick success.
The elasticity of the skin. Yeah.
But at the same time, it does look smart. It looks like he's lost weight. Yeah, so it's just weird. But
he was smiling on camera, and I think about when you talk about Tony Hawk being old, I think Tony Hawk has had a illustrious, amazing career, and I'm sure that when he thinks about getting to 60 years old, he's like, yeah, I earned it, man. Like, I've done it all. And Phil is like, he's been in the industry his whole adult life, and what a tough 10 years. And Xbox is killing it right now. They're doing really, really well, even without Fable and Gears and Perfect Dark being at the showcase. Like, he's got to be happy with where Xbox is sitting. They're probably making a lot more money.
Well, it's a couple of things, I imagine, and Phil can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure he hates my face. He don't want to talk to me. But I will say this. Look, it's going to be ups and downs. There's never going to be, oh, I'm really happy about it, or there are a few things. So Xbox is in the place where it's now. It's a big part of Microsoft's arm. Microsoft will, as the corporation, the mega corp, will be happy with its numbers. And Phil can enjoy part of that success. but at the same time, he's a core gamer as well, and he will also have to resign to the reality that, you know, the whole multi-plat strategy is born out of Microsoft's failure in the console space as a competitor. The Xbox Series X and S were not designed to be just these devices that would then eventually be not redundant, but just be cohorts to the PlayStation release, where PlayStation gets to enjoy better sales than the Xbox consoles. The Xbox consoles haven't tracked or gained the traction that Microsoft expected. You had those emails from Phil Spencer saying, look, we're in a good place. Our hardware is really more powerful. There were covenants or promises made to the upper management, and upper management, Satya Nadella, got involved, stuck his claws in, and the spirit of the Xbox that we grew up with diminished. Like, let's be honest, the whole thing is...
Did you know that
and that's happened with all three platform holders, by the way, to various degrees. So, yeah, generally, look, Phil Spencer, one thing you have to remember, he saved Xbox, and you can't take that away. No matter how critical I am, no matter how many times I say he's lied for his, and it was a bold-faced lie about the multi-platform strategy, all of that stuff, Phil Spencer saved Xbox when Microsoft could have walked away. And now Microsoft, whatever the story is right now, they're making loads of money. Gamers are enjoying, Xbox gamers are playing more Xbox games, looking forward to, out of all the platform holders, more first-party titles. They're getting Game Pass, which is flying in the face of the entire industry in terms of value, in terms of cost-cutting. Even though Microsoft also deserves flack for not leading the charge, but joining in with Nintendo and charging $80 for things like Outer Worlds or everything, whatever. But there's still, Game Pass exists. They're offering the best kind of value in gaming, irrespective of the marketing tag. It's very true. They're doing Play Anywhere. Microsoft has added a lot in this space. Without Microsoft, look at PlayStation Now, man. Look at their landscape now. What is PlayStation adding to the space? Hardly anything. In terms of meaningful, like, what are they doing in the space? This is really pro gamer, and
I try to be less abrasive when it comes to PlayStation because their games are really, really great. But the reality is that 2/3 of their studios have canceled their games. 2/3 of their studios have been on a games as a service pass, and they've canceled almost all of them. And that puts a major hole in their output, but they're still going to have Death Stranding, which they sign, it's their game, and Ghost of Yotai, and what was the other one you said? Just those two?
No, there's something else. Oh no, Lost Soul Side.
Lost Soul Side, yeah, which is, you know, a money hat third-party deal that they're publishing. So yeah, which whatever is great. They're still putting out great games. Xbox has got them beat 2 to 3-fold, but they have to make up for lost ground. And I think the fans all around are really excited about everything that you're getting from both. I'm sure there's people that are complaining about PlayStation's output, but I just really haven't used my PS5 all year long. Last thing I played on it was Astrobot last year, when I played all the way through that game, and then that was it. Was Helldivers this year?
Helldivers last year.
Yeah, I haven't played anything all year on it, and I'll play Ghost of Yotai. I think I might wait on Death Stranding, but we're not talking about Xbox. About PlayStation. Let's talk about Xbox.
Yeah. No, but it's important because this is really important because the comparisons are important because it's interesting to see where Xbox is right now, and they're really doing a cadence of releases quite strongly. And you have to draw comparison when State of Play came out, and you obviously had some on Game Fest, and Xbox had their final show, and they're leading the charge in terms of ratings generally. And Xbox on what me and you give a C+ show. Like, come on. Like, this is a far cry from the Xbox that we knew, that we struggled to support for years, you know, in the last generation, and, like, you know, the middling Xbox. Now Xbox is beastly. It's leading all the time. It's probably going to get Publisher of the Year award.
A couple hours ago when we laughed at Eric the Beard, I think we actually were meant to laugh at him. He said, come on, you guys, you were downplaying money hatting when Xbox bought 4 publishers. He forgot that PlayStation has bought almost all of their studios. They've money hatted almost every one of them. I think they might have 5 or 6 studios that they actually built, just like Xbox did. But
let me tackle that point. So he says it's hilarious watching you guys down talk money hats when Xbox bought 4 publishers. Right. So let's just talk about that for a second. There's a difference between those. I can understand your logic behind that. Instead of buying a timed exclusivity, Microsoft bought entire studios. But that buying the entire studio means you have to still maintain, cultivate the culture, support the studios, and build them up. It's not easy. You know how there's evidence of that? Look at Sony and its acquisitions. Look at Bungie. How are they doing that well? If it was going to be self-sufficient, what happened there? Look at Firewalk. Look at what happened with Concord. Look at what happened with Jade Raymond Studio. What's happening with it? It's
Fair games,
easy buying a studio and then and saying it's just a cop out. You're just buying it, but managing these, you're buying something to really, like, you can put your name on there and do it with money.
They didn't buy 4 publishers. They bought 2 publishers.
Yeah.
They bought ZeniMax and they bought Activision and Blizzard, which are combined. Yeah, they bought 2 studios. They're 2 publishers.
Easy to go. See you, man. Yeah. So it is.
What's up, TZ?
Blizzard and King. Yeah, fair enough. That's the difference. So that's I personally think the distinction is important, but you have to give credit as well. You're inheriting the problem. You have to foster the teams and you have to deliver. That is a problem now. Just like that's why we went hard on, say, for instance, Tango Gameworks being shut out. Like, what the hell are you doing? Same thing with Activision. Like, what is Microsoft doing with Activision? You even your Game Pass releases of old Activision games has been crap. Where are the new exclusives? What are you doing with Transformers? What are you doing with the titles? None of it. So Xbox deserves that absolute merkage as well. So it's not straightforward like with a money hat where you just chuck money in and then the game comes to your platform and you hardly do anything. Sometimes there will be, with the money hat, some funding of the game or supporting or helping the developers out. But it's just, ultimately, it's always cash. The cash talks, money talks. We've seen it time and time again. This money hat thing is old business. So it's like, yeah, it is what it is. Just to talk on Eric, the bids point there.
Yeah, I mean, I think PlayStation has 20 plus studios, right? I think they might have 20, 21 or something. But that wasn't the point. Yeah. The point was that they've canceled 2/3 of their games that they had for the remainder of this console generation. That's a pretty terrible situation to be in.
Ridiculous. Shout out to 460 people. Hit the like button. So I was going to say, yeah, fair enough. But look at what has PlayStation done this gen? For you guys or the Xbox guys were so much on the single player sad dad thing that they pigeonholed themselves into that formula so rigidly that the moment they tried to do multiplayer, they completely fell flat on their face with their first party acquisition. They didn't even know who to acquire. They ended up going for Bungie, and that was murkages. Marathon, let's see how that turns out, but it's not looking good. Concord is one of the biggest gaming failures in the history of gaming. How can you reconcile that? Concord was such a
It's even worse that Herman Holtz said that they had a franchise, a Star Wars level franchise on their hands. Like,
and there
your top director, the CEO or co-CEO of PlayStation, put all of his eggs into Concord, and it was worse than the ET from Atari.
Yeah, and look at what happened. It just led to a domino result of mass cancellations of multiple. PlayStation has more unannounced, has more canceled games than announced games.
And Xbox's worst flub was Redfall, and I love that game of the year.
And the thing has died. So it's very interesting to observe where the industry is now. It's weird. It's like the market leader is just coasting to me. It's not doing what it needs to. It will get settled in and it will finally deliver the titles that people want and finally learn its lesson in terms of multiplayer with the kill zones, hopefully, and SOCOMs and the other legacy titles. Yeah. They will get there eventually, but this generation...
They're just like this on their best franchise ever. They're just like...
Yeah.
Like, there's a rumor that Sunset Overdrive was supposed to be revealed today with a remaster that's coming to everything, with some tie-in stuff from like Ratchet and Clank or something, but that never materialized here. But the bottom line is that right now Xbox is carrying a ton of the industry. They've got so many games, and AA has become like, we're not whining. Like what do you call it? Summer Games Fest was pretty good. It was like a B minus. But there's still some really great reveals. And I think he put on a pretty good show overall. Xbox just put on a pretty good show. State of Play had some pretty good moments like Pragmata and a couple of cool multi-plats that really shocked and surprised people. It's just their first party output isn't as great. Xbox is doing a ton right now, and I didn't think we'd be in this situation where Xbox was changing the industry. They really are by Play Anywhere, over 1,000 titles that you get cross entitlement. That's a big deal. Let's see, we got let me read a couple supers here.
Is watching. Microsoft's making waves. Sony can't just sit there. There has to do something. If you're Sony execs, you're like, oh yeah, let them do their thing. We'll do ours. There's got to be some conversations there. Like, I don't know, day and date on PC. I think that's eventually will happen. But you need to be more malleable when your freaking competitor, you call it competitor or whatever, platform holder in this space is gaining traction. The Game Pass thing that is massively disruptive, which you hate, is gaining traction. What are you going to do? Sorry.
Gaming Lifestyle is always in my chat. This guy has like an amoeba of a brain. He's like, Xbox is not selling. Nobody cares. Xbox literally doesn't care. They don't want you to buy a console. They've pretty much publicly said, please don't buy our console. Please stop costing us money. Every time you buy a console in the EU, we lose money. We don't even want them on the shelf. Stop buying them. It doesn't matter. The consoles are niche. They flatline. Even PS5 is flatlining. They're all doing great. Like, sure, they're doing great.
All right. Oh, this is a.
Here's the funny thing. I'm going to do an X-Fault for you. Hold on, Gaz. Hold on.
Oh my God.
Here's an X-Fault chart, right? Here's the Switch. Here's a Switch. Here's the PS5. I can't do it. This is why I did it, because you only have two hands. Okay, here's the Switch. Here's the PS5. Here's the Xbox. They're all going up in their own speed. Like, Xbox's year-over-year growth is still low, but it's still going up. Who cares? The industry is about the games. We are all playing the games. Gaz just gave you a nice little speech about how you could play your games where you want. Like, that's amazing. Michael Mooney says, is that next Xbox dashboard running on the Xbox Ally? It might be. It might be that new universal Windows/console dashboard, but I don't know. I'll have to read up on that, because that would be a big reveal if it was. Got two more. Danny Patch Official, thank you so much for the super. Says, Colt, C bro, you crazy. Best a C minus? No, I said C plus. The best show this year. Yeah, it probably was the best show this year.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay.
I'm wrong though. It's a B plus according to everybody else. One more. KY Bob says,
yeah. Sorry.
Show is a B plus. Cole, if State of K3 was there, it'd be an A minus. Like, that game. What the crap, Undead Labs? You're not ready for next year? What the heck? I don't know. The great Be Rich says Linus just made a video on that handheld. Write in the chat what he said. Colin Prime says, yes, Colt, you were wrong. Well, about my grade. My grade can't be wrong. That's how I feel. Gaz, you're giving it a C. I'm giving it a C plus. That middle section, man, that's just not fun watching a bunch of those games that look kind of goofy, but there's something for everybody, I guess. And I think it's important. Gears E-Day should have had 30 seconds of in-engine gameplay. I don't know. I just feel like it needed to be there, even though they just revealed it last year.
Look, I'll tell you what I think. I'm C plus or whatever it is. I'm not overly concerned. Subject to this, well, I'll be concerned, but I'm not overly critical, because I think this is what's going to happen next year. I think you're gonna you clip this, and a little fat Oliver's gonna be there. He's just such a stalker. He's gonna watch it. Do it, you jobless troglodyte. I reckon next year is gonna be a really strong show for Xbox. I think in this year we got a lot of kiddie stuff, a lot of weird, like, kind of toned down stuff, like showing the diversity and stuff, that of art palette, more kind of whimsical stuff. You got your Clockwork Revolution. You've got your
they could have stopped at Clockwork Revolution and said thanks for coming, and I would have been so happy, because that looked so good. But
I think next year you're going to see Gears E-Day, then you're going to see State of Decay, and then you see Perfect Dark, and you start seeing a little bit more. Well, Perfect is not that mature, but you're going to start to see a little bit more of that, and you're going to get I reckon you're going to get and Fable. You're going to get a really, really strong showcase. That or Developer Direct, I don't even know how they're going to split that. But I'm just saying that matures. So I'm not overly concerned. Xbox did a decent show, and I'm happy. They've got decent games coming out. If I'm an Xbox main guy, I would be very happy with what's happening. So there's
no wait until next year. Gaz isn't saying, he's just saying that they have so much stuff backed up that next year is going to be incredible. They're probably going to tease the project of the next console, like they did with Project Scarlett in 2019. Like that's probably next year, but they already overloaded 2025, and I think they had 2 or 3 game reveals from Xbox that are coming out by the end of the year. At least 2, like Grounded 2, and there was another game that they announced that's coming out this year. It's been pretty crazy. So yeah, they're doing really, really well. I don't know. I don't know how, I guess everyone's like mad. Like we got a superhero that's like, doesn't like our score. We got P Lump. Thanks for the $2, says it was definitely a B+ or an 8. Gaz, you POS.
Shout out to P Lump. He's the homie. P Lump the homie. Mad love. He's the homie from back in the day.
Yeah.
Especially from Sean's show. He's really cool. Look, I even tweeted before the show. I'm like, I'm expecting a mild show because I don't think Xbox needs to go that hard. And I feel like they're going to do it much harder next year. Because all the things are lining up.
Yeah.
It's a decent show. Most people, I can understand why people think it's B or A. And we're in the minority, actually, according to Jeff Keighley's poll.
Yep.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
Yeah, okay. I gotta stick with how I'll call it, but this right now on the screen is the Call of Duty Black Ops 7, which you and I said on Rand's live stream, kind of a lame one last thing. Rand's words were, that's like saying Christmas is coming in December as a one last thing. Like, of course there's Call of Duty. Like,
yeah,
I didn't want to see it as a one last thing. There were strong rumors from some people that I tend to enjoy hearing from that said that they were going to reveal Elder Scrolls 6. And you and I and Zocker and Fonz had quite the argument behind the scenes like a few days ago about that. So Danny Pash, thank you for the chat, says, would be the best E-Day in January or at the June show. Would be best. It would be best. I think the reason we didn't see E-Day is because they're building a developer direct for it in January, which is in like 5 months. So
really? You think
probably
it's direct? I reckon it's a June show.
You think so?
I think, look, next year you'll get Perfect Dark. You might get, I don't know. I feel like, when is GTA 6 coming out?
May 26th, 2026.
May 26th, and that's a late.
And I just have this feeling that they're not going to have to push it, but they probably will. But the problem I have, guys, is we saw about 2 minutes of Perfect Dark gameplay last year, a year ago, which means to me you had a whole year. The game should be close to release after showing gameplay, but you were kind of breaking down that gameplay I've seen a million times on your show, Soccer, that it was a lot of like canned animation stuff. So it kind of frustrates me that Perfect Dark shows over 2 minutes of gameplay and then it's not here and we don't have a window. Like it should have been here. And then Gears E-Day is probably holiday 2026. So I guess I could sort of excuse why it's not here, but are we really looking at Fable, Perfect Dark, Gears E-Day, and Forza Horizon 6 at the Dev Direct in January? Can you imagine how gigantic that would be?
They got to pace that out. They got so much shit to show that, 2027 is when the next box is coming. I would stall out Forza Horizon for that. Think about it. If that game,
I agree.
Because can you imagine that's a launch title for the next box, even if it's
why put 6 out when 5 was selling like hotcakes on PlayStation 5 the year before?
Yeah.
Like 2025 has been a hot year for that game on PS5. Like you can wait.
Yeah.
And I could definitely wait because every once in a while I'll go back to Forza Horizon 5 and I'm like, I've done too much of this. I played 2, 3, and 4 and 5 like for thousands of hours. It's crazy. It's where I'm almost sick of it. So I don't know.
I reckon you'll get the Halo. I think the Halo remake thing that will come out next year. I reckon that will be out in 2026.
Okay.
I reckon they will announce or show the next Halo, and that will be a launch title for the next box.
You know what we're almost getting? We're almost getting a 360 era level of output from Xbox. I just thought of that just now. Doesn't it kind of feel like it? We're not getting 4 Gears games in one generation, but
no, we are. That's what I'm trying to tell people. Look, the Unreal Engine thing is for a reason. Like, look, we're getting that kind of cadence. We're getting so many people. I am so sick and tired of the lack of like real innovation in the AAA space. I've resigned to that. But what we're getting now is very similar to the 360 days. You hit the nail on the head there. All that kind of Unreal Engine stuff. So much diverse games. I forget the names of it. Chronos is one of them. If I list, I'm going to make a video on this, and it's going to piss all the snobs. And oh no, it's Alex dressed like a banana crying about Unreal Engine because it has stutter and it's so bad. And I'm like, listen, you dumb piece of fruit. You don't understand. The whole engine is facilitating and delivering so many incredible games. I get it, it's not perfect. I get it, you're shit. This is what happens when you build a shit PC, Alex, and then cry about my 5090 that absolutely molests your crap PC. You're sitting there crying about your shit PC and how your crappy little AMD card can't handle UE5, and then I get the flack because my PC absolutely churns through it way more than yours, but UE5 is completely just changing the game, giving us those kind of 360 gen experiences in such great volume from a myriad of different developers. Yeah, Alex, you piece of fruit, potassium piece of shit. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Shut up, Alex.
Alex
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Clip it. Send it to that piece of shit. This is why UE5 is sick. This is why the only good thing to be excited about, not the only good thing, but the redeeming part of this generation that kind of breaks the deadlock of the industry's crashing. Well, let the AAA flaccid space collapse so that mid-tier or double A's really shine. It's coming back. There's the equilibriums. You piece of nitrate.
We can't live where you wait 5 to 6 years for a game to come out. It's killing studios. Every single week we get an announcement that a studio's laying off or closing. It's been like that for almost 2 years. And I know this because I do a weekly podcast and I look at the news topics and I'm like, I don't want to talk about that studio closing down. I don't want to talk about this studio laying off their employees. And we said our concerns about asset flipped games and stuff like that, but studios are dying because they're paying their employees for 6 years instead of 2 to 3. And then they're making the same amount of money on a game, but they're paying them 2 times longer. It's just basic arithmetic as I spit all over my desk. It was great.
Basic arithmetic.
Yeah. I don't know. Xbox moved almost all their studios on Unreal Engine 5, Perfect Dark, Outer Worlds 2, Grounded 2.
Hellblade.
Hellblade's going to be 60 FPS when it releases. Is it already out?
On the PS5? I don't know.
Wait, when was that Hellblade 2 thing? I thought it was like close to the year anniversary, which would have been at the end of May, but we're now in June. I don't care. I played it once. I'll never play it again. It was good for its time. But
yeah,
I don't know. How's the rest of the chat doing? They're being good?
It's been good.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of content to make from today's show. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot to cover. It's like an interesting one. Like finally seeing the last of the big shows, and again, Xbox delivers quite strongly. I do think Jeff Keighley delivered as well.
Same.
You got to give him props as well because I really liked that show. And the pacing of it in the middle, it was dry as hell, but there were great games that I was excited about. In terms of Microsoft first party under-delivered beyond our expectations. Even one would have been happy, but I knew they can't even remotely come close to matching last year's one. But again, then that puts pressure on the next year's showcase. And I think I can't see how they can't deliver on that. There's so much there. But right now, there's so much now for Xbox guys. So it's not like, we're not being negative. Don't look at the sea and think, they're whinging. it's a solid show, and there's lots of games to play, and we're just generally happy about a lot of stuff. It's a good feeling. Just like, okay.
Right. I think it's fair to grade down the pacing of a show where you're asking people to sit for 2 hours and be entertained, and there's a it was maybe only 30 minutes of a lull. Someone said it's like 2 games, but there was probably about 8, maybe 9 presentations that were like consecutively lull, with the Elder Scrolls and the Fallout and the Sea of Thieves stuff, and then like some little games that kind of looked like, what is this? And you ride this high wave, like the show's an A, like Clockwork Revolution is like awesome, and then like right after that they start showing this dip down. And we try to pretend like we're entertainers, right? We're content creators. Like when I make a video, I want you to enjoy it as much as you did in the beginning to the middle, so you stay to the end and you're enjoying the video and it was worth your 12 minutes of your day, right? So when you make a show, it's the producer's job and it's a content creator's job to make sure that their show is just cranking along and really well paced. And last year was perfectly paced. It was just the smaller games were really quick. The big moments were always big and just kept banging on all cylinders. And if you're doing a rock show, you want to make sure all the stuff has people excited the entire time. So that's why Gaz and I gave it a C. I gave it a C+. You give it a C. I don't know. I still had a good time. Really good time. I just don't like those moments.
I expected basic. Yeah, but they were great. We didn't even talk about Double Fine's new game. There's a lot of variety. The Xbox.
Before you talk about Double Fine, I'm going to make an opinion that doesn't work, but I'm going to say it. I almost wish that you could look at the whole show as a producer and say, man, this stuff really drops off. Can we just not put it in the show and like put it on post show? Because they've done that in the past. Like, let's do the Elder Scrolls, Sea of Thieves, Fallout 76, the Infinity Nikki, blah, 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 whatever it is. Let's do that post show and make the show an hour and 10 minutes, and it'll just be banging on all cylinders all the way through. And then that's like, if you want to see more, we've got post show stuff, and then it doesn't bring down the overall presentation. But the reason why my opinion doesn't work is like those partners are waiting for their moment to be on the big screen. And if you do that, you really do a disservice to fledgling developers who might have a hit on their hand. Like the vacuuming game where you're vacuuming up books and there's the ghosts and stuff. Like I said, this could have potential. Like you never know, like the whatever the ghost in the whatever that game was, that could be like the next like little viral hit. And if you rob them of that moment, that's kind of where I was getting at. Well, talk to me about Double Fine, because you were your reaction was pretty cool.
I don't know. I mean, I was excited. Anything from Double Fine, it looks really creative, and I can't wait to get a hold of it. I still need to complete Psychonauts 2, which I can. My PC thanks to Play Anywhere, which is good. I carry on my save. Funnily enough, I used ChatGPT for it to kind of explain the story, because I came back to it after a long time. Like, I took a screenshot of it, of the mission. I'm like, hey, ChatGPT, can you summarize what's happened in this story? Because I don't know what I'm doing up until this point. He goes, oh, you're at this level. So basically what's happened is you had this and that. I'm like, who's this character? Okay, I had to remind myself. Like, who are these characters? What am I doing in the game? And ChatGPT's, people don't really realize how crazy AI is. It is freaking insane. If you pay, especially the paid version of it, it's mad.
It sucked so bad 2 years ago, and it's incredible now.
Yeah.
So what do you think about Double Fine's Keeper, the lighthouse, walking lighthouse?
Yeah, I need to obviously play it. It looks beautiful in terms of visual style, very Double Fine. And I think, I just need to, I'm looking forward to their new title. Let's see what they produce again.
Yeah, it looks kind of like a puzzle-based platformer or something. Like you have to use the light to find your way or to reveal. I don't know if that's going to be my thing, but it was beautiful.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah.
And what was that this year? That was it. It was Keeper, Grounded 2, and there was something else they revealed this year. That's crazy. So many games.
It's mad, man. They had like Brett. Obsidian are just killing it. I don't know how they smash it out so much. They have
3 teams.
Insane.
they
insane.
sort of have like a dozen people working on Grounded, and then they have their bigger part of their team makes Outer Worlds, and then their half size of that makes Made Avowed. But I was I'm not an insider, but I talked to somebody who said that they had heard that the insider heard that Outer Worlds, this was like months ago, that Outer Worlds 2 was like the real deal. Like it was like the best thing they've done in a long time. And we were talking about how the first one was a Game of the Year contender. Will this one be? Maybe not, but there's so many guns and there was like so many cool things. Was there anything in Outer Worlds 2 that you were, besides the visuals, you were going gaga about? Like, what are you looking forward to?
Combat looks really good. Combat looks really good. It looks really solid. The weapons look good. The shotgun looked crazy. It's just like, it's just really interesting. It looked really solid and fun to play. Makes me realize again, I need to complete first one. There's a lot of games I need to complete, but holy shit. That's why I just feel like this year I'm gonna just smash it out. Loads of things, catch up with everything.
Quit your job.
To play. I can't. I own the firm now.
Yeah, you're the boss. Say, look, I'm not gonna be in. I gotta finish all these games. That's crazy.
But that's one of the things that I needed to do, and that's why my content has dried up. It's been a very, very eventful year for me. A lot of things are happening in lifetimes, but I'm trying to get these things in place so that I can play more and make more content. And now finally at the final throes of things and wait for my family to leave my house. Let me be. Which is almost there.
We've been talking about that behind the scenes very, very fervently about your family leaving and looking into the future. Content creation has been weird. I don't know how chat, how the audience, how you're feeling about the trajectory of Xbox. Like Xbox is bigger than ever, but at what cost, right? That's something that we think about a lot. And a lot of people have had acceptance on it. I've totally had acceptance on it, but it has really changed a lot of the ways that we podcast or we make content. When I make content about Xbox, it feels a little bit different, but the games have never been better. So it's just really weird as a content creator. And ever since Xbox, indulge us for a minute here, guys. Ever since Xbox officially announced they were going multi-platform, I doubled down on making content at a Gaming Weekly News, which has been hit or miss. But the growth on the channel has been bigger. And I think it's because, like Face23 said in the chat, in Rant's chat a few hours ago, he said, Xbox's showcase is now for everyone. And like everyone's watching because they're making the games. And thank goodness the games are good for the most part, right?
Yeah. They're honestly, it's just, it's really good. Planet of Lana. There's so much shit there. I'm really excited about. I'm actually genuinely happy in the state of gaming. Even though I have my qualms of AAA space, there's so many good games, and this is why I'm positive about UE5. Because look at the beautiful range of games we're getting. So many things from Far East Asia, so much actually from the Western devs as well now. And it's just leveling the playing field. It's a really healthy environment. I was talking about the crash. Let the AAA space crash. I have no respect for Ubisoft. They keep shitting on Splinter Cell. We never get Splinter Cell. So I have to look at the Korean version of it, whichever the Mudang is.
Mudang,
yeah. Just like, bruh.
Are you going to play the Invincible game and the Marvel game? Those two fighters?
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love Invincible. Invincible is bowels. That game, you haven't watched it. I keep telling you to watch it. You haven't watched it, right?
I need to watch it. I don't watch a ton of TV.
Yeah, it's
I seriously watch maybe 2, maybe 3 hours of TV a week. I really don't watch much. My wife and I have a couple of shows we watch, and that's it. So
I've been watching quite a bit, actually. That's that's going to tone down a little bit more because I can do my content creation. It's just that I just need to be a little bit more free. But yeah, it's just, look, man, it's nice to see the dust settle. We wait for these showcases so much. It's like you know, us, we're like, it's etched in our mind. The moment it ends, we'll be thinking about the next one. And it's dust is settled, and there's so many great games. Ultimately, that's the positive thing about it. There are some qualms with the industry that I definitely have, but generally, I feel so positive about my insane backlog. And you know this, it's come to the point where people are taking the piss out of me, rightly so, for not completing games. And I can't even say anything because it's like, I'm doing these podcasts and I need to finish these games. And I want
It's
to.
a-
Expedition
it's a-
33, I really want to do that.
It's a rare thing in this podcast scene, in this content creation scene. Like there's quite a few of your favorite content creators that don't play a lot of games. And this past year, I've been guilty of playing a bunch of games and not finishing them or giving up on them. I was only halfway through Expedition 33, but I play a lot of games. I watch very few television shows. I either play guitar, play games, or try and make content. Just trying to do the best we can out here, but there is going to be a lull in the rest of June, July, and part of August where there's not a lot of games out, but there's actually some summer releases, and content creation will be quiet. So we'll have plenty of time to play tons of stuff and work on big projects in the background. So what time is it over there in the UK?
It's 9:30 p.m. It's plenty of time.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's quite early, isn't it? Yeah, like honestly, yeah, content creation takes up a lot of your bandwidth when it comes to playing games. Especially for me, there's no real excuse other than life stuff, buying your own practice and all of this shit and getting stuff and then trolling people on Twitter. I need to spend time now finishing these games. And I honestly, I'm just looking forward to that. I have so much to do now. And it's a very positive place for me in terms of gaming, especially on PC. I'm not going to lie. The PC space is beautiful. The only thing I'm struggling with is reconciling my political beliefs with trying to understand what I'm going to do, because Microsoft's such a massive corporation.
Remember what I said a couple hours ago? Like, Xbox is kind of doing their own thing. Microsoft keeps calling these shots, but I don't know. I separate the two as much as possible because I really do not like Microsoft. I don't like the way that they handle things. And when I look in, it's like the Russian nesting doll. Like once you pop open, you get to where the studios are. Like there's all that ooey goodness in there, but outside of it is nonsense. It sucks.
Yeah, it's quite broad.
It's political and it's economical and stuff.
Yeah. Exactly. It's crazy. It's like I can't escape Outlook. My firm works on it. I can't. So I'm going to boycott that. I'm Windows. It's like oxygen nowadays. You can't get rid of that. And then within Microsoft, the Xbox teams, maybe they may. If there was like, if I draw a similarity with something like, say, Naughty Dog, and the main guy's main game or aim was to be propaganda for whatever, then that's different. If Xbox Game Studio was doing that, then I'd be different. So I'm trying to reconcile that. It's just like, you have to try and pick your battles here and there. But by me having that struggle is also a reflection of how powerful, how potent Xbox as a brand is, where it's just delivering so much that you're thinking, okay, well, how do I rationalize that? It's just like, is this reasonable? Obviously I can, because one thing's more important than the other, but yeah. Is it, I wouldn't hold back. I would say F Microsoft. I'll go on Steam or pirate their games or anything like that. But it's hard. Xbox dominates the conversation in gaming now. Xbox was like a side piece before, and we were just kind of we were fueled by the promise of what Xbox was going to be. And now Xbox, in very, like, after this gen, like right now, it's like last gen and now it's just hit this weird stride that we talked about at the start of the gen. Every podcast. I know. It's coming. It's going to work. Next year's going to have so many games. They're going to know what to do. Next year's going to get, and it didn't happen. And then 2022 happened. And like, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. And it's happened. And we're drowning in games. Xbox Game Pass is ridiculous. Even PlayStation fanboys are struggling to talk shit about it. And the value on Play Anywhere, like, so that is insane. PC space has grown up massively now. Massive.
It's so good even Fawn subbed to Game Pass.
And that says a lot.
That says a lot.
Fawn's shit on it privately and publicly in this podcast. But he is, and if you can get Fawns to subscribe to Game Pass, that's it, you've won.
Yeah.
And I tell you right now, there are a lot of PlayStation guys, I guarantee you, secretly, or not so secretly, sub to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I always say that if PlayStation had their games day and date in one of their service tiers, they would all trip over their own wieners to sub to it. They would absolutely be a day one sub. They bash on, I want to own my games. Hashtag forever physical. But if a day ever came where PlayStation was like, all of our first party games are included in the top tier of PlayStation Plus, whooshing, they would go right for it. They only make fun of stuff that they don't have. It's kind of obnoxious, but Game Pass for many years kind of sucked. And you and I bashed it pretty hard in 2022, and it was like, we've got Pentiment. Enjoy.
Yeah.
And we made a lot of friends doing it too. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know. That's it. I'm probably going to do this show again tomorrow with Mag, so you'll get another opinion.
Inferior, but it's fine. At least you get content.
Yeah, we'll have a different way to go about it, I'm pretty sure, but I'm starving. I had a good time. It was good hanging out with you and watching the show. And
absolutely.
We'll do more of this. We'll get you back on and maybe get some friends together and talk about old times and whatever's going on, right? Figure out something.
I said that. Yeah.
Yep. Hey, the great Be Rich says Dreamcast guy has a video. Well, I can see where it's probably going to go, but hey, just watch people you enjoy. There's so much stuff to be happy about. Like Gaz said, more games that we can even play. Find a content creator you like that aligns with your opinions. Probably not us. And watch their content and give them a thumbs up. Give a thumbs up here if you enjoyed the show. And go follow Gaz. If you see him in the chat, you can go right to his. If he writes something in the chat, you can go to his channel and hit the subscribe and watch his content as well. Gaz, thank you for being on here with me. We'll talk later. We'll get out of here, guys. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of the day. Celebrate it and all that stuff. We'll talk to you later. Where's the button? What? Oh, yeah, here it is. What do you say, Gaz?
I'm naked again.